Today, let's talk about why you cannot stop repeating the same trading mistakes or bad patterns that you so much want to break. In a past post, we've talked about the two types of trading mistakes, and that is the first type, the first time mistakes that tells us that it's the first time you do the mistake in new market information, new conditions, so there's an opportunity for you to improve there. And then the second type is those recurring trading mistakes that come from an ingrained belief or a pattern that you've been repeating for so long that it makes it very, very difficult for you to break. Those are the most challenging ones. And so today I want to give you some perspective on why this happens. Why do you struggle so much, even wanting it so bad, to break that pattern? Let's get into it. There was this client of mine I worked with for 6 months, and let's call him João, which is, by the way, a Portuguese name that I'm sure you will struggle to pronounce, but let's go with it. And he was struggling with impulsivity, and his biggest trigger was a loss made with a big expectation from what the market would do. So the strong held expectation, when it was invalidated by the market, together with the financial loss, would trigger a completely different side of João. He would start to looking desperately for a second re-entry in the market so he could materialize and not miss the move that he so much expected. And in one of our sessions, I told him, for more that you want to break your impulsivity, there's a part of you that actually loves it and wants to hold that impulsivity very tight. And that's basically what's making it so difficult for you to break it. And this happens to pretty much all the traders. What looks like a great idea in the short term is actually playing against your long-term goals. So I'm gonna paraphrase a small excerpt of the conversation that I have in one of our sessions, me and João. And he goes like, I can't miss the trade. The word I can't was already very revealing. Every time a client or a trader or any person really says words like can't, shouldn't, it indicates that something is forbidden. So why can't you? Right? And so I went ahead and I asked him, what makes you believe you can't miss a trade? And he told, if I'm well prepared for a scenario to happen, and then it happens and I don't get to participate in it, that causes immense pain and regret. And I asked him, are those second re-entry trades self or market focused? And here I was talking really about those re-entries João would make right after a loss, holding a high expectation. And he told, okay, I get your point. They are expectation based, so I would say self-focused maybe. Why maybe? I asked him. And he told me, well, because the initial trading idea is there and it's valid. And I asked him, is the entry that you take valid according to your trading plan though? And he said, no, most of the time, it's not. And I asked him, so how do you feel about making money on a trade that is self-focused and not according to your strategy? And here I realized he had this mindset shift and he goes like, well, I guess putting it that way, I feel good at the moment taking the trade. But afterward, the excitement goes away and the logic takes place. I realized it was a bad trade. And then I asked him, how useful is this trade for your long-term database? And he said, not useful. And how does that make you feel? That I wasted my time and money on a bad trade. You see, we typically think of trading patterns as so hateful and we hate ourselves for keep on repeating them. There's actually this part of us that wants to hold tight and not stopping with them. It should be easy to stop doing something you hate so much, right? But it's not that straightforward, especially when there's a part of you who wants to hold so tight to this bad pattern, who loves this bad pattern even. So how can you go of something that you deeply love? You don't. And you won't until you realize what part that is. For João, the belief that he couldn't be a successful trader or that he couldn't make money in the market if he kept on missing trades was the part of himself that loved the bad pattern. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is this part of you? The part that is pulling the tide against the direction you want to go. I invite you to find that out. Because once you spot the part of you that wants to keep your worst patterns, the ones that keep setting you off, then it becomes easier to prompt a change. And most of the time, this part of yourself is hidden in a limiting belief or an expectation of yourself, your strategy of the market. What's important is that this part of you needs to be remodeled. How can you remodel it? That's the topic for the next video. So stay tuned. Peaceful trading, Sara. If you love this video, I would suggest you to go for the paid plan of the High Performing Trader, when I drop weekly posts on specific trading struggles and topics on how you can maximize your trading skill set and become the trader you aspire to be. So go for it. I will leave the link in the description below, and good luck.